The dynamics of change are working me right now. The dynamics of change. Change is the one guarantee, right? The one guarantee that we have in life is that things will change. We change, our circumstances change, families, our environment, really everything. Everything changes, and it's the way of nature, and we're part of nature, so it's our way, and it is the way. But there are definitely some changes that are harder to navigate, and I am approaching my youngest child going off to college, and that will happen in about 5 days from now. And it's so interesting, isn't it, that we long to see our children grow up and be themselves, be comfortable in their own skin, be challenged, learn to adjust to adversity and see it through, and all of those things that we know will help mold them into these just beautiful, confident, stellar human beings, and make their mark on the world in big ways or little ways. We long for that, and at the same time, that initial transition and passage into their next chapter just feels so very difficult. I knew this might be a more vulnerable post, and we're still 5 days away. But it is something that I feel to the very heart of my being, that as bittersweet as it might be to watch our children take those steps into their next chapter and their next adventure, I remind myself that I was there once. I was there taking bold steps into my next path and the next chapter of my story, and it's so fascinating to think of it now. Back then, gosh, 30 years ago, more than 30 years actually. I recall that myself, my mom, my dad, we were the three of us standing in my dorm room, and it was, boxes were unloaded and my stuff was put away, and it was just kind of time for them to leave, and time for me to put sheets on my bed and figure out how I was gonna organize my dresser. And there was just this pause, and it was beautiful, and it was tender and challenging all at the same time, because they knew that they had to say goodbye, and I knew that I had to be brave and wake up the next morning kind of officially on my own and venturing out into college life. And none of us wanted to move from that spot, from where we were standing, in my dorm room. And yet, it was a couple minutes that went by, and I had the hugs, and I think the moment that my parents walked out and my door closed, I quickly hopped up on top of we had bunk beds, and I was on the top bunk, and I hopped up there and grabbed my teddy bear, and I had a good cry. And then the next day, it was like, wow, it's a whole new world, It's a whole new world for me to make my way in. And it is the same with our children, no matter what path they go down. It doesn't matter, college or, jobs, or just moving to a different place, or just simply the change of the dynamics, that we experience between the end of high school, or the end of that kind of schooling, and the next thing, the next chapter for them, whatever that looks like, school or otherwise. It's something that we know has to happen if we also get to witness their becoming and their evolving in all of those brilliant, beautiful ways that they will. And I know that I have an exciting future ahead, watching both of my kids expand and evolve. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm in it, the challenge of it. So anyone else feeling that, it's the time. It's fall, and lots of our kids are going off into their next journey. So I'm with you, I see you, I feel you, I'm in it too, and we'll all get through it together. See you next time.